Yeah, and I'm asking you if either one of you guys know the 5 elements of the First Amendment. It's real easy,
Okay.
but neither one of you are going to attempt it.
Well, it takes practice to know something, right? I knew it when I was in college, but not.
Well, you should have known it because you guys swore no to the Constitution. Miss 5250 here, crazy for justice, and I am not John Lang. I repeat, I am not John Lang. All right, I'm going to show you guys my Facebook page because I can't, for some reason, go live on YouTube. But I static recorded this and went live on Facebook. So there it is. If you want to check out the Facebook page, have at it, and share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I call it FPD, out and about. Here we go. So there is a shout out to SJVT, and there is also I had a conversation with these cops about Carolina and Fort Worth. Right, thank God she's okay. I'm trying to be sneaky. On the way home from the dog park, I saw Fresno PD backed up into the space where the alley lets out on this block right here. I live on the next block over. So when I get to the end of the street here, they should be right there, backed up in that alley. And who knows why? They don't do that when they are going to a call. They always park a couple doors down. They don't back in and block the gate of an alley. But that's what they're doing now. And it looked like there was 2 cops in there. 2. So we're going to sneak up on their asses and see if they know the First Amendment. The First Amendment. The cop repellent. Cop repellent. And it is hot, people. It is friggin' hot. But there it is, 8:38. 8:38. 97 degrees, Wednesday, January 26th. I'm gonna get Facebook ready to go live. Did you guys just pull up? Are those cops still sitting down there? All right. Thank you. I film cops, yeah. Okay, this is where they would be, guys. Right? Right there. Yeah, there they are, guys. They're still sitting right there. They were sitting there when I drove by on my way home from the dog park. It's official pest prevention. I don't know what that is. Oh, hi. Hi there. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. That just said hi to me, that security camera.
Yeah, it's at hot ass too.
Yeah, so that's pretty secure.
Uh huh. Can we help you?
Well, I'd like to know if can you officers identify yourselves, please?
Yeah, my name's
One at a time.
I'm Officer Camus, CAMOU.
And your badge number?
Paul, 2191. The Paul is for P.
The Paul is for P?
Yeah, so it's P 2191.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. And you, sir?
Officer Salazar.
You're not Mark Salazar, are you?
No.
And your badge number or
P2028.
2028. And do you guys know the First Amendment?
Yes, and you're exercising your right.
Yeah, and I'm asking you if either one of you guys know the 5 elements of the First Amendment. It's real easy,
Okay.
but neither one of you are going to attempt it.
Well, it takes practice to know something, right? I knew it when I was in college, but not.
Well, you should have known it because you guys swore no to the Constitution. He looks like he was going to Google it.
Right.
Me?
All right. Well, hey, I'd rather you
laws
do
and
that.
whatnot, it's
I
in
would-
the big giant book, so it's like.
Well, I know, but
sometimes
haven't you
need
guys heard of
references
First
to look at
Amendment
something and
auditors?
whatnot.
Haven't you guys heard of First Amendment auditors? San Joaquin Valley Transparency? That's what he does. He asks the cops if they know the First Amendment.
Yeah, no, I've seen a lot of those videos of First Amendment auditors.
Freedom of speech,
Have you heard of Miss
religion,
5250?
freedom to express.
Have I heard what? I'm sorry.
Heard of Miss 5250? That's me.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, since you guys don't know, one easy way you can remember is RAPS. RAPPS, 2 P's. Religion, assembly, press, petition, and speech. And it's very important that you guys know this. First of all, you took an oath to protect the Constitution, and that's the very First Amendment. So, and it's not, like I just demonstrated, not that difficult. And you can rattle those off,
100%.
religion, assembly, press, petition, speech. And because there's, we know there's bad cops out there. I'm not anti-cop. I'm anti-bad cop. Like Jordan Wamhoff that stole my phone, and when I threw a fit about it, he had me put into a mental institution. So that's why I put myself as Miss 5250. But how do we know the difference between a good cop and a bad cop? How does Joe, average citizen, supposed to know?
Those interactions and real actions that you observe.
Well, that's true. And but what if you've had very bad interactions? And you go and ask, you guys were very polite, but I walked up with cameras. Neither one of you pointed at your chest and said right here, that's a big red flag that you're a bad cop if you do that. So you didn't do that, which is good. And knowing the First Amendment, how how are we going to think you're good cops if you don't know the very First Amendment? You sure know the second one, right? You know the Second Amendment, don't you?
Yeah, we know the first one.
Well,
I know we didn't answer.
there's only one officer, and I can't even remember his name. That I'm pretty sure he told me 4 of them, but there hasn't been one single Fresno cop that has in the 4 years I've been doing this that has been able to answer that question. So, shame on you guys. Shame on you. You should know it, and there should have been some kind of MO. Um, you're 1 block away from me. I walk around this neighborhood. So they should have told you, hey,
About you?
yeah,
Well,
that I'm going to walk
I
up and film you and ask if you know the First Amendment.
Well, that's within your rights, right?
Yeah.
You're doing everything lawfully, so there's no point for other people to tell us, hey, there's this woman that obeys all the laws.
Then you would
That may
know
come
the
up.
First Amendment, though, when she asks you, be one of, do they not want you to make your apartment look good? Because it looks bad every time I ask and you guys don't know. Because I ask over and over again. Right?
We're entitled to our opinion.
Well, but the public, it's the public trust you have to gain. You guys are your own team, your own squad. You back each other up. You need, because what is the biggest threat to a good cop?
Could be a lot of different threats.
The biggest threat to a good cop,
What's your opinion on the biggest?
a bad cop. That's the biggest threat because he puts bad feelings about police, about all police. That actions of that one bad officer affects all of you. Bad cops get good cops killed, in my opinion, because they're not following the law. They're squashing our rights. And they're making people hate cops. I mean, look what Miguel Arias just did. I'm not going to even talk about Paco, and I'm not going to bring the dickhead Jordan Wamhoff up again, even though I think that he's trying to capitalize on the scandal, that he was trying to get something out of it because his wife can't keep her legs closed. But regardless of that, Miguel Arias put "fuck Trump" in Spanish in his window at City Hall. That's disrespectful to the public, and you guys take your cues from them. City council, right? The mayor and city council kind of set you guys as priorities, right?
We work for the city.
Yeah,
We
the
work
city.
for the city, but we also work for the people of the city, which is you guys.
Right. So you should know the First Amendment. That's what the people want. That you guys know our rights and you're going to protect them. Big deal right now. There's a auditor in Fort Worth, Carolina and Fort Worth, a cop that she knew by name and saw her. She lives near, I guess, a little place like the Tower District in Fort Worth. Within 7 seconds or so, he slammed her into the pavement and busted her lip, busted her face open. 57-year-old woman, because a car was getting towed and she was asking, "How do you know if they paid?" Because it said to text or scan this. So that's a valid question. We don't know how all this newfangled stuff works sometimes. And she was asking, "How do you know if they paid or not? How do you know?" And they just said, "You got to leave. You got to go across the street. I'm only warning you once." And then slam. Her camera goes black and she starts gurgling this very bad. She was unconscious. And one of the female cops said she's bleeding. And then we didn't hear nothing about calling no ambulance. Instead, her camera was turned off. Someone reached down there, and it was more important to turn the camera off than to call the ambulance first. That would have been better if we would have heard on her body cam, on her live feed, that they called an ambulance. I mean, do you see where the public would get a bad impression there in that kind of situation? You guys should check it out on YouTube and look at her face, that poor woman. And she was just exercising her rights and has been to city council just like me. So, and Jordan Wamhoff's bullshit got me to where now I am 25% more likely to get shot by a cop. No, that is statistically true. I am M1 now. Yeah. Look it up. Look it up.
But I will take into consideration your acronym,
Rap. Officer Salazar. You're never going to get that one wrong, right? It's very easy. Check out Tom McDonald. He's a rapper. And have you heard of him?
What was it? 51, 52 you said?
No, 5250.
Miss 5250. Crazy for justice. That's me.
Nice talking to you.
You two guys. I am.
Education is
I am.
priority, right?
Until
We're all human beings, need creatures of habits.
you know what my happy place
do it
is?
over and over, we learn something new, right?
You know what my happy place is? I dream that one day, hopefully, I get to see Jerry Dyer in handcuffs being walked down Mariposa Mall to the FPD in handcuffs. That's what I want to see. Lieutenant Jose Morales. You guys know about him? You should look him up. You should look him up. All right, guys, how do you like that? All right, so then I walked just to the corner to where the fire hydrant was and waited to see how long it was going to take them to leave, because I had went to the dog park, and I like to do a live feed from there, and I did about a half-hour live feed, and then I shut it off and hung out there for a while. And when I was driving home, I saw these guys. So I drove past them, drove to my house, got my dogs all in the house, got, my phones and everything, walked away because I wanted to sneak up on them. So I had to walk down my block and up the next block. And I talked to some neighbors too for a few minutes. So they had sat there for a little while. So they did, when they pulled away, they said goodbye. You know, they stopped for a second, but the Facebook feed cut out. Anyway, so Miguel Arias was not at the council meeting on Thursday, but we found out where he was. He had a son. Apparently, I don't know, this registry says that the due date is the 26th, and the council meeting was on the 20th. So, you know, I don't know. Who knows? But he did have the F Trump sign in Spanish up in his office just like within the last 2 weeks. And I called today and couldn't find out if it was removed or not. This was on ABC 30 or KC24. One of the local stations covered it. But, you know, very bad decision making by Arias. And coincidentally, Mike Carbasi went on a little rant about how transparent city of Fresno is. So that's why the baby mama's face is plastered up here for everyone to see, so we can, you know, be transparent. Trying to get that video up tonight. There is another council meeting tomorrow, which I'm definitely going to. Thank you for everyone that is still hanging in there. I appreciate each and every one of you. I want all of us to be well, be free, and always film the police.